Okay, so this is what we're going to do. You have to indulge me for 1 second. All I need you to do is look into the camera, say your name, and say what character you played.
I'm Jerry Adler, and I played Hesh.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Bracco. I played Big Pussy. I'm sorry. I'm Lorraine Bracco, and I played Dr. Melfi.
Thank you very much.
I'm Catherine Narducci, and I played Charmaine Bucco.
John Ventimiglia, I play Arthur Bucco.
Beautiful.
Dominic Chianese, I played Corrado Soprano.
Junior.
Vincent Pasto, I played Sal Bumpanciero, but you could call me Pussy.
Maureen Van Zandt, I played Gabriella Dante.
I'm Tony Sirico, and I played Paulie Walnuts. You got that?
Stevie Van Zandt, like Silvio Dante.
Michael Imperioli, I played Christopher Moltisanti.
Edie Falco, I played Carmela.
Jamie Lynn Sigler, I played Meadow Soprano.
I'm Robert Eiler, I played AJ Soprano.
Have you all been together at all in the last 5, 6, 7, 10 plus
together.
years?
No.
That wasn't any.
Nope.
Really?
I wouldn't go near these people.
This is the first 20-year reunion, so we wait.
Yeah. Don't remind me. 20 years.
Here's my question. Who of you, show of hands, knew from the get-go that this was going to be as big a show as it turned out to be? 1, 2, 3, 4. Why did you think?
Because I asked David what was going on because they hadn't committed to making the show, and they had a very short period of time to do that. And I called David. I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "Listen, I'm going to send you the pilot." I watched the pilot, and I literally jumped for joy. I said, "This is the best thing I've seen in 5 years. TV, movie, theater, whatever. I absolutely think it's fantastic."
Right, right. Wow. But we had other people who didn't raise their hands. Edie, you're working on the show. You're working away. Did you think this thing had any chance at all?
I never know. What I had come to know is that I don't know anything. I had been wrong so many times about things I thought were great that nobody else could care less about. So I just, you hope for the best, but all you know is you have 3 weeks of work and then you move on. So that's where I was at.
Yeah. One day at a time.
One day at a time.
Oof. Michael, how about you?
I read the pilot. You can't really tell from reading the pilot. This is before we shot it. The scope of what it would be, I wasn't sure if it was a spoof, kind of like a, tongue-in-cheek. I really did not, I wasn't particularly blown away by it. I needed a job at the time. I thought David hated me in the audition.
David Chase.
He looked so bored. He did hate me. He looked so bored.
Yeah.
And then I walked out, I figured I didn't get it. And I was like, well, he's not even Italian, this Chase. He's some white guy. So
it turns out he is Italian.
Turns out he is Italian.
Right.
So,
And that's his face.
and he's not white. He's Italian.
Right.
So,
I have a funny story about that.
Please.
After we filmed the pilot, I don't know if you remember this, David Chase took me and Johnny V on the side, and he said, "Look, I don't know if anybody's going to want this thing and if it gets picked up, but if it does, I would love to have you two come back." Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. He sat us down. It was 20 years ago, I know. But I remember.
Out for a little bit more if I knew that.
Because I remember I thought it was great. I didn't think it was going to be this big, but I thought it was great when I read the pilot. But that was the conversation we had.
Yeah.
And David Chase's thoughts on it were pretty funny to me.
No, he did. He said, I remember him saying that. No one's ever going to watch this thing.
Right.
He called me on the phone, and he said he was doing a pilot, and we had worked together on Northern Exposure. And he had this pilot he wanted me to do if I was available. I happened to be in New York that week between sitcoms. And he said, you're going to love it. It's called The Sopranos. I said, I'd love to do it, but I got to warn you in advance. I don't sing.
You've never told that story before. The idea that Did you know what it was? Because from the standpoint, when you look at it, it's a family show. It's kind of funny. It's unbelievably violent. It's crazy also. I mean, there's parts of it that, like, throwaway, kind of non sequitur. It's a lot of stuff going on that screen at any given time, right? What did it feel like to be a part of the cast?
I remember in the beginning, as soon as I had been auditioning for like stuff for probably 5 years or something, and I remember it was my first TV show, and I remember going home and my mom, everybody was like, "Oh, you got a TV show, you're gonna be famous." And then we were on set doing the pilot, and I said that, I guess, and Tony Sirico said, "Listen, you do these things all the time. This is going to be nothing. We'll probably never see each other again." So then I had to go back and break the news to my family. It was tough, but then, you know.
You
Mr.
might as well spread it.
Right. Tony, talk about it, because this was not your first rodeo.
No, it wasn't, but I'd killed before. Number one.
I have no doubt.
Number two, when I went into initially audition for David, he looked at me. He said, "You sit there." He put a hat on me, and the lines were, "These kids today." I said, "Is that how you want to see?" He says, "Any way you want it. Anyway, I'm playing an 80-year-old man." As I put the hat back on, "Son of a, these kids today." That happened. That's two. Three, I get a phone call. HBO is deciding on three of us: me, Frankie, Vincent, may rest in peace, and Dominic. We all had our turn at bat. We did the routine. I did the same thing. I did all I could for this type of character. I'm playing an 80-year-old man. These kids today. That's what I said. Everybody went. I got a phone call an hour later from David Chase, who tells me, he says, I says, and he says, yeah, you got some bad news. You're not playing that character. I says, Uncle John. Uncle Junior, thank you. He says, but he says, I got something in mind for you. I'm not sure. I want you on the show. I haven't decided what you're going to do, who you're going to be. I said, yeah, okay, sure. I hung up. I don't know if he was pulling my pretzel or what he was doing. An hour later, he calls me up and he says, "You are Paulie Walnuts. You're on the show." That's how I got on the show. I wasn't learning lines. I just showed up and got the job. Every now and then, don't hurt nobody. Make you laugh.
Was Paulie in the script, in the original script, or he wrote it in?
No, Dominic's role, the old man.
Uncle Junior.
So he created Paulie Walnuts for you.
Yeah. He told me I'm Paulie Walnuts.
And there you are.
I loved it. The boss was telling me that.
It's beautiful.
That I know.
Yeah.
My agent called me up, said, they want you on the show. You're going to be Artie Bucco, the chef. I said, the chef? As a chef? What is that? Okay. I mean, you know.
It's a mobster show. You want to be a mobster.
Yeah, I want to be a cool guy, you know.
Right.
You would turn out to be the coolest.
Turned out to be all right.
Right.
We all came out of independent films, so we'd meet each other at auditions. We were all going in a lot of the same things, and you know, you're going in on that. You never expected anything to do too much, but you love what you were doing and who you were doing it with, and that's what this ended up in a way. It could have been on network, I guess, if a network wanted it, but it ended up wearing it, and we ended up being kind of like an ensemble in a way, not expecting too much, but liking what we were doing.
But no way, no how, this show ever goes on network television.
No.
Not with its, not
the
with,
magic is gone.
the tone of the show could have never flown on network television.
But come on, we all have to give credit to Georgia and
Oh yeah, and Jaffe.
Sheila Jaffe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's give it to them. They knew.
So what's the famous quote? It's John Huston or John Ford, one of those old directors, said, 90% of directing is casting.
That's correct.
Not if you ask a director, but
John Huston said that.
Somebody like that. But
Quite true.
But this whole thing is, I watched a bunch of episodes then just in the last couple of days. Saw it all the first time, saw it again 5 years ago, then watched a bunch of episodes over the last couple
You
of
got
days.
a lot of time on your hands.
NBC doesn't keep me very busy. But the point being, I felt like every single person in every single spot was spot on. Did you ever worked in an ensemble like that where you felt like he doesn't miss, she doesn't miss, she doesn't miss?
It was extraordinary.
Everybody hit it. It seemed like every scene. Anybody worked in a show like that before?
Me and Michael, in the snow, we did magic with lines. We took the humor out of a line that should have been humored,
Right.
and it was funnier that way.
Sure.
The guy's dead.
It's already so
We
funny.
murdered him.
what's not funny about that?
You're talking about the Pine Barrens
Oh,
episode.
there is no other. To be honest with you, I love this show. I die. This is the way I want to die.
There you go.
In the show, but
There you go.
In the snow?
Almost died
No.
that day.
It's the greatest episode.
I also think it's because
Pine
of the
Barrens.
chemistry of all of us. I think I could say we all got along. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody had a bad thing to say about another actor. And a cast this big, that's what's rare and what you'll never find on
Gotcha.
another show. There was no jealousy. Everybody loved each other and was for each other. That's what I think.
Let me
even cursing right at you.
Right.
That's the reality of it all. The beauty of it.
Dominic.
When I auditioned, I wasn't sure Dave was a genius or he was a Nubats because
I was wearing the hat.
my sister-in-law were going to kill your son, my nephew. I thought this guy's crazy. I didn't know what he was doing. And then he started laughing. I said, maybe it's a comedy. I wasn't sure it was a comedy. I just wanted a job. And like Edie said, I had a feeling. I wanted the job real badly.
Right. As you're playing Uncle Junior,
Yes, sir.
did you just get the line? Did you just say, "This is my guy. I'm delivering the lines"? I don't, because you had some of the best lines in the show.
Yes.
Yeah, I had some
Well,
great
like
ones.
I'm
I didn't wait for the
Me
reading.
in the Boston, New Jersey.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
The feds are
That's
so
nice.
far up. The feds are so
That's
far
nice,
up.
yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite
the
scene.
grill
That's
cream.
when he says you
Wait,
were.
hang on. So
made him great.
So what was your
Yes.
favorite scene?
Well, it's
Dominic?
one of my favorites. I think I just love the show. One of my favorites was when I had no teeth and he was saying, "You're the boss of Judge," and I said, "That's nice." That I like playing that old.
Do you watch the show? Do you ever watch the show now?
Sure, I watch it. Oh, once in a while I watch it.
Yeah. How about? Because you get killed. You get killed in the end of season 2,
Yeah.
right?
We all
Yeah.
cried when you
And
got killed.
did you think, "Oh my God, I'm on the best ride of my life, and they're going to kill me now"?
No, because David called me between season 1 and season 2, and he promised me a great season. And he said, "Vinny, we'll bring you back in some flashbacks." And I wouldn't be sitting here if he didn't create the character of Big Pussy, and that's history. So I'm very happy that I was able to be with these people for those 2 years,
Yeah.
you know, and work with Jimmy.
Right.
Yeah.
You people don't have any idea how great it was to work with James Gandolfini. He was the best.